All right, happy Monday night, everybody. Hopefully, everybody has had a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. What a St. Patrick's Day on Monday. Is there a bigger meh than St. Patrick's Day on, Monday? Probably hard to find it, I would think. But that's what we got today. So hopefully, you guys are having a good one. We got baseball to look at. Texas Tech rocketing up the RPI charts at d1baseball.com. The first D1 baseball RPI released today. That's the one we pay attention to. We pay attention to no other RPI. We'll talk about that tonight. Bracket talk. Have you filled out a bracket yet? Have you done it yet? How did it go? What are you thinking? And then, hey, whatever else is on your mind tonight. It's Monday. It's a good, bad, and ugly recap of the weekend. Stuff you liked, stuff you didn't like, everything else. I know we just sat here last night doing the Sunday night recap deal. So, we don't often do that. So I'm glad you guys are back with us on a Monday. But I know we, got into some of the matchup yesterday with Wilmington, with Tech basketball. But maybe you had a better chance to look at it, look at the bracket, and we'll get your thoughts on that going forward. So let's have some fun tonight here in the Raiderland World Headquarters. We get it going with you in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. The website you start today. We give you the hot links every morning, the coolest stuff from Raiderland and beyond. And the question of the day, today it's Good, Bad, and Ugly Monday. The stuff you like, didn't like, and everything else from the weekend, sports or non-sports. Hi, not hard to do. Product placement right there. Look at that. The marketing team's going to be behind me today. All the communications brought to you, including James getting in first with the thumbs up, letting us know the audio is good, the video is good, by United Supermarkets and Market Street. Maybe you went there today. Maybe you went there this weekend. Maybe you'll go there tomorrow. They are the supermarket that supports Texas Tech, the grocery store chain that supports the Red Raiders all over West Texas, into the Metroplex and beyond. And we're also brought to you by Pete's Tire Service in Ropesville, Texas, USA. But they serve all the South Plains. They come to you, farm, ranch, truck, big tires, little tires, your car, you name it, new tires, they got you taken care of. They are the people you need to have on speed dial on your phone if you travel around the South Plains in West Texas. Pete's Tire Service out of Roseville. And our friends up in northern New Mexico are getting ready to take you fishing. Jeff Fagan, talking to him today. Fagan's Guided Fly Fishing. This is a great time to go. We don't have the early spring runoff yet, but there are a lot of holes up there, a lot of places on the river where it's just now beginning to go. What's that? You got food for us? And then big old rainbows, and German browns. Maybe you just like to fight a little brookie somewhere. Hey, and if you've never fought a little brookie, you don't know what you're missing. Fagan's Guided Fishing can get you taken care of all spring, all summer. He's a great dude, awesome guitar picker. Marley decent singer. Don't tell him I said that. That's our official fly fish, and not just fly fish. You don't have to fly fish, okay? But our fishing guide in northern New Mexico, Jeff Fagan, out of Red River. So check it out. And now, where do we go tonight? Where do we want to start? Good, bad, and ugly recaps. Baseball. We talked a little bit about baseball last night. The thing I want to get into today is where Texas Tech is on the initial RPI for d1baseball.com, which is pretty much the Bible of RPI. So how'd they do after that tough non-conference schedule where you only got 3 wins? How'd they do? Not bad. Now, a lot of it has to do with getting a sweep on the road at Houston, but that was always part of the deal. You were going to have to win some games. They check in at 68 on the RPI, 6-11 on the year, 8 strength of schedule right now. In the last, the last 7 days, a nice little 57 RPI jump. Thank you for the sweep. 0 for quad 1, 0-3 quad 2, 5-2, 3, and 1-2 quad 4. Here's what's really interesting. You're ahead of Grand Canyon on the first RPI. Grand Canyon, after they beat you, they've dropped a couple of games. They're at 73. You've got TCU coming up. They're at 62 on the RPI with a 128 strength of schedule. And that's a TCU team but 10 of their wins have come against quad 4. 2-2 against 3, 2-3 against 2, 0-1 against 1 on the quads. And we'll get into more Big 12 baseball stuff as we go through, but there's a Big 12 problem right now for Texas Tech, and it's good on one hand and it's bad on the other hand. It leaves really no wiggle room for error for this team going forward. So your thoughts on baseball, your thoughts on basketball bracket. How do you like it? I have not filled out a bracket. Have you filled out a bracket yet? I haven't done mine. I like what I see down there in the bottom part. I don't think you should be scared by Florida. I really don't. Kansas and Arkansas. I mean, it's just like they said, well, we can only use like one name. Let's put a 7-10 on that. And St. John's, okay, you hadn't played anybody in a month. You tell me. Good, bad, and ugly Monday. James gets in early. Good, baseball postponed against New Mexico. Bad, Tech still has to play New Mexico. Ugly, New Mexico is on the schedule. You got a couple of your normal dings on the RPI. And for those who don't know, tomorrow the winds are going to be not quite like Friday in West Texas, but steady wind, 30 to 40, gust up to 60. And I think Tim Tadlock and New Mexico just said, hey, we can do this later on this year or not do it at all. You know? And if I'm Tim Tadlock, I'm on the phone right now trying to find somebody out of conference that you could pay a crap ton of money to come in for a midweek game that's not Tarleton and not New Mexico State and not New Mexico. That if I'm Tim Tadlock, I'm going to the NIL Collective, I'm going to the Matador Club, I'm going to Kirby Hocutt, and so we got to do something. We saw this play out, I think it was 2016. I want to say 2016, where they went after a road game, a road series at Oklahoma State, and went and played at Florida State. I think maybe that was the year they did that, and they picked that up late. James says, and not ACU. Yeah, I mean, I know why Tech schedules these people regional. It's hard to get them in. This year, it's not killing you, but it ain't helping you. You need some out of conference help, because here's the deal right now. For those who are paying attention, and welcome to the broadcast. If you want to do March Madness and talk about West Virginia's governor looking at suing the NCAA, or at least probing the practices, we can get into that. West Virginia got hosed, obviously. We can get into the March Madness. It's up to you. You fire the comments, we react. You get in, thanks to United Supermarkets on the chat line, we react. Right now, we're talking baseball. We can talk basketball as we go through and whatever else is on your mind. Oh, it's also the Hamiversary. Happy Hamiversary to everybody who observes and celebrates. March 17th, 1996, Darvin Ham takes down the backboard there against North Carolina in the NCAA tournament. The Big 12 has a problem. Arizona State is the highest rated RPI team in Big 12 baseball right now at 30. That's, you're in the NCAA tournament there as an at-large team. If you've got a 30 RPI, you're going to be in. And Tim Tadlock knew this going into this year, and that's why they scheduled it as such. The Big 12 has a baseball problem. And it's going to manifest itself this year with Texas Tech that you've got to win games. So it's going to help that the league kind of sucks, that you can get a bunch of wins, but every loss you get in the Big 12 is going to hurt you more than it's hurt you in the past. And going forward, Texas Tech is going to have to schedule just like they did this year. And they're going to have to get their wins outside of the Big 12, because I don't see a lot of programs in the current Big 12 that are really valuing baseball and doing what they need to do. Well, what do you mean, man? You got Oklahoma State with O'Brate, you got TCU. Yeah, okay, that's a couple. Name me the others. Show me the others. Alan jumps in on the United Supermarkets chat line. Baseball guy laughing at football guy today after a sweep and an RPI of 68. Yeah, but see, football guy didn't understand 68 is, about 25 RPI spots, which is a good 2 weeks, being, NCAA cut line that you can go into April as an NCAA inside the cut line team. Football guy didn't see it that way. Football guy got 68. We might as well be Louisiana Tech. But this conference needs to have a come to Jesus meeting about who's going to do something in baseball and what are we going to do about it. Because as a whole, the facilities have fallen behind, and that includes Texas Tech, to be sure. The fake Natalie Maines, who's on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Good time to remind everybody, if you're on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't cost nothing. You can watch it on Twitter or YouTube. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube, free. Facebook, free. Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media, free. Everybody cross-pollinate, do your thing, and subscribe to everything. Dear Hyatt, how are you? Me, myself, I'm all right. Really, though, the drainage gets me about 3 o'clock in the morning after laying down so long at night. It really backs up on me. I start coughing. I usually have to get up, take a shower or something. It's been really bad lately. You didn't ask that question. I am not wind blown. How soon will we see the basketball break away from the National Communist Against Athletes and form their own league? Will it be separate from the new college football league or work in conjunction with football? Thank you for the Red River, New Mexico talk. New Mexico talk you gave us, just so you know, love you. And I hope you can get up there. Prescient question. It will break away. It will be the football teams and football schools that break away and create their own basketball tournament. And coming up probably tomorrow, we will release the tournament of the future and what it would look like if it happened this year, that the football powers created their own not NCAA, their own college basketball playoff. Their rules, their TV partners, and how it would look using this year's real RPI and everything else. What would happen if the football powers that be just told the NCAA, we don't even need your basketball tournament, we'll put our own on? And I've seen it thanks to the great work that Alan Corbin is doing, and it's spectacular, it's real, and it will happen in 5 to 7 years. And it will be the death of the NCAA once and for all. James, I say Tech, OU, and or UT playing preseason for baseball, meet in Amarillo. Yeah, but they're probably not. See, OU and UT aren't going to do that anymore with Tech because they don't need it because of the SEC. All right? I understand what you're saying. You need them. Tech needs them now. They don't need Tech, so they're not going to do that. So you're going to have to figure out some other teams around the country that are probably not OU and UT. They're not going to risk a regional rivalry or anything else. Not saying it's not possible, but they don't have a lot of upside because they recruit against you. So you're going to have to figure out some other teams to play against. I'm with you. I get what you're saying, and that means, playing in the classics and everything else that not preseason, but early season classics and stuff. But this year's non-conference schedule is going to be the norm going forward. It has to be. It's just going to have to be that way. JC's on our YouTube channel. DBU, Arkansas, LSU, Mississippi State need games. They're the closest with OU and TU and A&M if you want to jump in there. Hey, I'd play them, but they won't play you. Now, some of the other schools out there, you might be able to get something against them. And again, probably not this year. It's your schedule is your schedule, unless you can find somebody who's got a rain out or something late, and you can do something in April maybe. And I don't know the wiggle room. You've got Tuesdays scheduled in April right now. You got one open Tuesday on the 15th of April. That ACU game is a Monday, so you'd have a couple of days, 22, 23, 24. Don't get a lot to work with. Don't have a lot to work with. A lot of baseball tonight, a lot of basketball. We got plenty of time to get your bracket thoughts. Have you filled out a bracket? How do you feel about where Texas Tech is? We did a lot of talk about it last night, but you can get it on the Market Street United Supermarkets text line and get in now. Tim is on our YouTube channel as well. Thank you, Tim. Hopefully everybody on YouTube likes it. Give us thumbs up, share it. Makes my wife feel good, and that's the least you can do. Big 12 has neglected baseball in pursuit of achieving success in football to keep up with the SEC and the Big 10. Not necessarily. What's happened is you transitioned out some really good baseball teams in Big 12, and you brought in some teams that really don't value it as much as you do. And then the teams that are left over, well, baseball's been put on the back burner a little bit. Have they neglected it? I would say neglect is too strong. Too strong. But there's no mistake. You've lost some good baseball teams in Oklahoma and Texas. And it's been nigh on 15, 20 years that TCU with Lupton and Tech with Dan Law, and I know they addressed the clubhouse and all that. That's just part of it. I mean, Baylor hadn't done a damn thing in 30 years almost, 25, 30 years. When did the ballpark open? Baylor ballpark opened in maybe 2000. I'm trying to think the first time I called a game down there, I believe was in the 01 season, and it had been open for a year. I think they were finished it in 99, and I was doing basketball and didn't go on that. So, I mean, that's how long it's been since some of this stuff has been going on. And then the teams coming in just not good. I don't care. Is the baseball game postponed because of the wind or the power? Wind. They do have power, I believe. I have been told that they have power there, but the wind and the weather is what it is. On campus for my 2-hour window to get things from my office, there were utility trucks all over campus. Yeah, I think it's going to be that way for a while. Not sure which department you're in or anything else, but it could be a while before tech gets up fully functioning. Why didn't this happen when I was in school? This is the ultimate spring break, right? You get ready to go on spring break, you get a couple of days free, and then like we ain't got no power. This never happened. That clawing and scraping sound, says Joseph, is baseball doomsayers trying to climb back on the bandwagon. No, I don't think they are. Because football guy looks at RPI 68 and goes, and then I was getting stuff on social media this weekend. Yeah, Houston must suck. Well, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but you still swept them. And you're still 3-0 for the first time since 2017 in Big 12 play. And I think it's almost, oh gosh, depending on what they do against TCU, you could have your best record after 2 series in Big 12 play in, I think, 20-something years maybe. Alan chiming in, and you'll hear from him tomorrow with the ultimate NCAA revolt of a basketball tournament from college football teams. Tech needs to play more ACC teams and more tournaments where they can get the SEC schools on the schedule. Yeah. And again, it's money on the midweeks. They don't have to travel out here talking about SEC and Big Ten and good teams. They don't have to travel out here. They got teams coming to them. You're on an island out here, and there's nobody good around you midweek. There's just nobody good. So you got to overpay, and either you're going on the road, but I agree with playing more ACC. I like that. I liked it when they scheduled Michigan. I liked it when they, were able to schedule all the Power 5 teams. But yeah, I'm with you on ACC. We used to play Clemson back in the day. We're got something with whatever. Pay them. You're gonna have to spend more on baseball than other teams have to spend on baseball if you want to be good at Tech in the coming years, because the conference is going to hurt you. Bottom line, Alan, combined opponents record for Tech so far 99-53. Upcoming schedule almost as good. The SEC trying to expand every sport as fairly as possible, both men's and women, in my opinion. The SEC is trying to expand. Tell me out. Give me a little bit more. Tell me what you mean by that. JC, I'll take Tech's draw over Houston's. You want Gonzaga second round? Tech is a great draw. Probably get beat by Auburn before Houston beats them. Auburn and Houston. Auburn up there. Houston. Gonzaga's a paper tiger, in my opinion. I think the Big 12 dodged a bullet by not taking in Gonzaga within the last couple of years, and probably even UConn. But Gonzaga is a man and not necessarily a program, and I think you will continue to see them drift down. They're not that good. I don't think Houston has anything to worry about on that. I don't see Houston really having a game until you get down to that bottom part. And boy, wouldn't that be interesting if you could get the 1-2, and it's real chalky, I believe. But Rick Barnes having to go through Houston to get there. Yeah. Meanwhile, Gary jumping in on YouTube. Ryan Heights Raiderland on YouTube. Give us thumbs up on YouTube. Share it on YouTube. Grow it. Heavy baseball tonight. I like this. We got plenty of time to do basketball as the week goes on. Don't worry. We got thoughts on the Seahawks. All year long, I've been telling you, you shoot too many threes. It's not good. You shoot too many threes. Tech will probably win this game late Thursday night because they shot and made a lot of threes against a team that's not good at defending the three. Poor Aggies, says Gary. Baseball started the season at number 1. Now out of the top 25 RPI 114. Schlossnagel, anyone? We've seen some falls like that, but nothing that precipitous, that fast that I can remember on the baseball side. And I think what we're seeing here again, and we saw it preseason basketball, the transfer portal and the turnover of rosters makes it really hard preseason trying to figure out anything. And, you know, there are some basketball stats about teams that don't start in the preseason top 25 that end up with a high seed in the NCAA tournament that started the season outside the top 25. They start and they get into the NCAA tournament. They never outperform their seed, particularly if they're like a protected seed. I say that to go back to talking about baseball, and you know, we have to make big assumptions now on these rosters that we just don't know with the turnover. But yes, for A&M, ain't nobody crying for Argentina tonight. James, back with us on Facebook. The SEC is growing every sport financially to be as dominant as possible. Well, yeah, you got the money, you're going to spend it, and you dominate by dollars. They've been doing that now for 25 years since the emergence of the BCS, and how they were really printing money late 90s ahead of everybody else. Joseph, West Virginia should quit crying, just win more games. If you want the big dance, by the way, we don't say big dance in Raiderland. We say NCAA tournament. I hate the term big dance. Big 12 ACC has to prove they can. SEC and Big 10 prove they can't. I mean, I think West Virginia should have been in the tournament. I don't think North Carolina should be. I'm fascinated by the West Virginia governor. You're going to see more and more of this coming out and challenging the NCAA and saying, you know, what are we doing here? What's transparency? Your chairman on the committee, Bubba Cunningham from North Carolina, he might be out of the room, but he's still there. And he stood personally to make over $100,000 in a bonus just by making the tournament. He makes more money if they advance. And of course, the school makes money. By the way, the SEC, with their 14 bids, $26 million into SEC coffers, with the SEC getting 26 bids in this tournament. Get ready, though, because when we release our new tournament tomorrow in Raiderland, outside the NCAA, what it will look like in a few years, yeah, that'll be paltry. Absolutely paltry. Randy Wade. Oh, yeah, I posted this. I'll link this on Twitter. When Yale upset Baylor, and Torian Prince was asked how they got out rebounded by Yale. He's like, well, you jump up, and up by the rim, you grab the ball with two hands. And you grab the ball, and you pull the ball down, and then you get the ball, and you hold it, and that's how you get a rebound. And they did that. They did that more than we did. It was beautiful. And beautiful answer. We retweeted that at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter earlier this afternoon. West Virginia going to sue? We going to sue? West Virginia does not talk like somebody in the South. They do not talk like that. But yeah, we're going to sue the NCAA. That's an attention getter. We're going to sue the NCAA. What are we suing them for? We don't know. What did they do? We're not sure. We're going to find out and we're going to sue them. Never let a politician miss an opportunity to stand at a podium. What was it? And it wasn't like the national communist against athletes like that, but it was like they had a bastardization of the NCAA logo, and it was like national cheaters or I don't know. I'm like, good on you. Meanwhile, your coach may leave. No, anybody cares. I do applaud West Virginia on one hand. They didn't take an NIT or a CBT or any of the fake tournaments. They just said, now we're done with it. And I don't know why anyone would play in any of those tournaments really for the most part anymore if you were thinking about changing your roster or changing your coach. There's no reason to do that. Now, if you're going to grow and you're going to keep things together, then absolutely you play in one of those postseason tournaments, play more, win more. That's the hashtag I used for Texas Tech Lady Raider basketball this weekend, play more, win more. And that also tells me that Krista Gerlich, just Gerlich, you don't have to say Kirkland anymore, Hyatt. I know. Sorry, Krista. That tells me that that's a pretty good indication that Krista Gerlich going to be back next year, for those wondering about Lady Raider basketball and the upcoming, what is it, this time next week? Is it the 24th? I think so. The Aaliyah Chavez announcement on where she's going to go play basketball next year. So, last chance, get in your comments, thoughts, questions, basketball, baseball, anything else that is on your mind. We got you for a few more minutes. Wind is coming to Texas again, West Texas again tomorrow. Hope you guys are batting down, ready to go. Lose anything in here? We got the. Well, we mentioned the Darvin. Okay, I'll tell you the Darvin Ham story real quick. All right. I'll tell you the Darvin Ham dunk story from my version. I'll tell you that real quick. So it's the anniversary of that, 1996. If the seed don't fit, you must acquit. How do you think the Lady Raiders will do in the WBIT? And it's the 25th for Chavez. All right, so next Tuesday, so a week from tomorrow. Is that right? Next Tuesday? Hell, I don't know. How will they? I have no idea. All of it's based on motivation. They're going to Wyoming and playing there, and it's all about motivation and who wants to play and what. I like the way they finished the Big 12 tournament. They played very well there. If they're on an uptick and they all want to be hanging around each other and have some more fun, they could do well. So March 17th, 1996, the Lady Raiders are playing at home in the second round. I believe it was the second round of the NCAA tournament against Notre Dame that night. Now, that game is earlier in the day. So we got people at the house. We're watching the game and everything. And I'm getting some stuff ready to go. And we were living down off of 19th and like around 19th and Quaker in some townhouses or something back then, real close to Tech. But I'm looking at my equipment for the game that something's missing. I can't even remember what it was. And all of a sudden I realized I have to completely haul ass from basically 19th and Quaker all the way out to beyond 1585 and Slide Road where KFYO studios were and the radio station and get some piece of equipment that I have no idea why I didn't have it there. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the true story. So I realized this, during the day. It's a night game for the Lady Raiders. And I jump in my truck and I'm listening to Jack Dale doing the game, and I'm just kind of panicked. I'm like, I am flying. All right. I am hauling butt out there and hauling back to get everything done. And all of a sudden I realized, how you listen to a game and you're going on, all of a sudden you realize, man, nothing's really happened here in the last few minutes. And they played a bunch of commercials. And that's when I realized they come back, and I had totally missed it, I guess, leaving the house and everything. And this is kind of pre-texting and pre-cell phone and everything else. So it's not like everything's blowing up on you. You're just driving down the road. And I get to the station. I'm like, what's going on in the game? They're like, you don't know? No, I don't. Yeah, man, Ham broke the backboard. They can't play. What? So I hang out there at the station for just a little bit. I've still got to haul ass back to the house, get everything, get to the Coliseum and get ready for the game. And so I wait long enough to see they come back on CBS. Was it CBS? I guess that had it. But they don't show a replay. They're like killing time. I'm like, I gotta go. So again, I'm back in the truck and I'm driving and I'm listening to Jack, and I don't know if it was, I don't think it was John Harris on color. It was probably maybe like Kelly Robinson, the SID, doing color. And, they're describing everything that happened. I'm finally like, okay, they broke the freaking backboard. I get back to the house in time to see the resumption of the game. And then I got to head over. It took me maybe a day, or at least later that night, before I ever saw a replay of the actual breakage of the backboard. It was one of the greatest moments in Tech history that I never saw. Crazy. Later Raiders beat Notre Dame that night, head off to beautiful Nacogdoches, Texas, for a date with Louisiana Tech in the Sweet 16. And so, again, missing. We fly out later that week. So when Tech's playing Georgetown, they're in the Sweet 16. Yeah, it was Sweet 16, I guess. The Allen Iverson game, Othello Harrington, who else? There was somebody else for Georgetown early. Yeah, don't get to see it. We're flying. We take off right as the game is tipping off, and we finally get to Nacogdoches and get settled into our lovely rooms and accommodations. Thank you, NCAA tournament. Just lovely accommodations in Nacogdoches. And finally turn on the SportsCenter highlights and get a chance to see Allen Iverson and Georgetown take care of that. So, yeah, like those two games, one of them somebody had on VCR that it was the North Carolina game. I finally got to watch in its totality. I've never seen, other than highlights, that Georgetown Tech game. And there you go. The true story of the Darvin Ham dunk that I missed driving back and forth across Lubbock County on March 17th in 1996. But in the words, and from the movie Jaws, we delivered the bomb. That's all we had to do. You guys share this, please. If you want to do something for us, go subscribe. We are 40 now away. We're so close to 500 on our YouTube channel. Everybody watching on Facebook and Twitter X, go to YouTube, sign up for our channel. You don't have to watch it there. Watch where you want. But then share this, put it out there. We're going to have this on the website, theraiderland.com. Big Tuesday tomorrow. That's right. Tuesday's best, brought to you by Kyle Rogers, Remax Realty. We'll have that topic for you tomorrow. Great Raiderland hot links. We were a little shy this morning. Still having some hard problems with the WordPress application we use on our website, Inside Baseball, and the Elon Musk Twitter app posting some of those tweets. I think, though, they're getting a little bit better. It was a little bit better today. So we'll have that for you. I'm disappointed that nobody said green, white checker. You guys are really falling down on the job on that. Thanks for being out there. Grow this, share it, have some fun with us. Follow us on Twitter tonight at Ryan Hyatt Media. We'll be hanging out with you, going back and forth, answering your questions, comments, and anything else. You guys are the best. Thanks to all of our great sponsors tonight, like United Supermarkets, Jeff Fagan and Fagan's Guided Fly Fishing out of northern New Mexico, the official not just fly fishing, but fishing guide for Raiderland. And, of course, Pete's Tire Service in Roseville, Texas. You need them on your phone. If you travel around, they'll come to you and fix your tire. That's pretty cool, all right? That's why they're a great part of what we do here in Raiderland. All right, we'll see you later. Everything is on the site. So check it out at theraiderland.com.